Well, shooters and reloaders, Fortune Cookie 45 LLC coming to you from the Hot Lead Zone. And this video is chapter 13 of the Savage Model 11 VT308 project. And the title of chapter 13 is Lapua brass for the 308. Now I'd like to thank Thorzak777 for suggesting that I try the Lapua brass. Now, of course, we all heard of Lapua brass. It's supposed to be the best brass there is, and if you're interested in doing precision reloading, you gotta consider Lapua brass. Well, the casings are approximately $1 a case, and maybe it's a little less when you buy it in the 100 pack. But look at this. The Lapua brass comes packed very nicely in this plastic case, and when you open it, you'll see that the top cover has a loading tray. Turns out that there's also a 50-round loading tray in the bottom of the plastic case, but it's got very nice packing because it protects the brass during handling and shipment. And when you look at this brass, it's all been prepped. The case mouths are all chamfered and deburred. The flash holes are brand new brass. The inside of the flash holes already been deburred. The cases have been annealed very nicely. There are no dents on any of the cases that I can see. They all look pretty good. Look at the inside of that case. Is all very nice and polished inside, and now it's all new brass and clearly annealed well. So you see that? Now, of course, when I load these, we're going to go ahead and do the neck sizing anyway with the Lee Collet neck sizer to get those nice and uniform. Let's go ahead and mic those. Now, of course, I've already mic'd these, and I found them to be very uniform. As you know, the trim 2 length for the 308 Winchester is 2.005, and this one is 2.007. Well, if you mic the rest of them, you'll find they're within a thousandths of that. See, another 2.007. Here's the one at 2.009. So they actually run between 2.007 and 2.009. Very uniform, actually. We won't need to trim these because the trim length is 2.015. Trim 2 length is 2.005. That's from the Lyman 50th edition. As you can see here, 2.015 is the maximum length. 2.005 is the trim 2 length, as you can see there. So we're well within the trim 2 length for these. Now, some reloaders like to weigh them, and that's already been done in the reviews, so we won't do that. Now, here's something very interesting. When you mic the thickness of the necks, you're going to get the thickness of the necks run between 0.014 and 0.015. So if you measure those within a 90-degree rotation, you see it's 0.14, 0.145, 0.15. As you see there, 0.14, 0.145, etc. So we'll just grab another case by random, and you'll see there's 155, 155 again, 0.15, and 0.15. So measuring at 4 places around the neck, they're pretty uniform. So if you want to turn the necks, you could, but I'm not going to because of the reasons we stated before. This is pretty good brass, and they're all nicely uniform. This is unlike other brass that we buy from Winchester or Remington, and they package them in a plastic bag, and when you open them up, you'll see some case mouths are actually dented, this kind of thing. You can actually see some extra brass on the top of the neck here, like a little bulge of brass, so the uniformity of the case necks isn't the same, this kind of thing. And when you look at the case mouth, you'll see little flares on them and this kind of thing. These are all perfect. They've already been deburred and chamfered. So there's 100 of them in there. I look forward to using these. I think the cost was like $83 for 100, so they're like 83 cents each when you buy them in the 100 pack. And they come in all the popular precision shooting calibers. So if you are interested in getting some Lapua brass, well, might find that it'll give you some tighter groups and this kind of thing and be very worthwhile. So we're going to go ahead and load these and see if they indeed give us that. But of course, here's something that's very interesting. When you put this brass in the RCBS precision mic, you get right at 0 to a little underneath 0. So it's less than -1. Well, as you remember, my Savage Model 11 VT in .308 Winchester caliber, it's at 1. So we're already at -1 from that. So that this brass is ready to go for the Savage. See, it's right at 0, which is 1 under, or 1/1000th under where the Savage Model 11 VT is. Now that one is 1.5 under 0. So as you know, we like to have our brass with the shoulder bumped back by anywhere from 0.001 to 0.003. There's 1.5, so that's 2.5 under where our head space is. So this is a very useful tool to help us determine that this brass is actually sized perfectly for our Savage Model 11 VT. Now this brass, of course, is manufactured in Finland, and the Finns don't mess around. This is best packaging you'll ever see any brass be shipped in, so that the quality kind of reeks even before you open the box up. So Thorzax 777, thanks again for the encouragement. I know I've been wanting to try some Lapua brass all these years, but never did break down and spend the money. Well, might as well go ahead and do it now. We got this this nice Savage Model 11 VT 308 project to do. Bye for now.